Uh, Abstract brainwaves, game genie in the beanie. We ain't on the same stage, leveled up. The epitome of technique, can't survive in my current thought.
Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. And I just got back from a nice walk. Yeah, and you know what the situation is again, but that said, I had a good time. I did. I was getting a little stir crazy cabin fever now. Some people are like, you're outside, why? Well, where we're at, there's a stay-at-home order, but to be clear, you can still go out to exercise. You can still go out to get food, groceries. You can still go out to get gas. You can still go out to get alcohol if you've got to do that. You know, if you're staying at home with your children, well, hence the alcohol. But you shouldn't be going out to play Pokemon in large crowds. So right now, 5 people and under, I think, is okay. If it's you by yourself or you and your friend, spouse, loved one, whatever, I don't think that's a problem if you're going to a park to do that. Now, you don't want to be with a whole bunch of people together doing that either. So this is not me telling you what to do or what not to do, except for, you know, you don't want to be all up on people in large crowds. But what they're saying you can and can't do. I don't want to be that guy telling you, let's not do this and let's not do that. Or stop playing Pokemon. I don't want to be that guy either. But that's the reality of the situation right now. Is you can do some things. You can still play the game, just not the raid part of it is going to take a hit for a while. You can still go out and get the balls, just not as much. And you want to have a legit reason to be outside, right? You're exercising, you're hatching your eggs, you spinning a couple stops. Cool. You want to be an essential employee. So out of my 4-5 jobs, none of them make me be essential. Except one. That's right. Not sponsored, by the way. But I'm essential. So what that means is when I'm out here making these pickups and deliveries, yes, Mr. Officer, yes, Mrs. Officer, yes, ma'am, I'm making a delivery. One of the best things I could have done for myself, because Uber, not really kosher to do that right now. But I told you can go out for food. Well, if you don't want to go out for food, I'm your guy. So what was today like? Today, you know, nice weather, and you're supposed to be inside as of 5 p.m. today in my location, North Carolina. Stay at home, shelter, statewide, whatever. Just be at home when you can. They even have a form out where you can rat on people. But let's get to the Pokemon. I walked a friend's dog. I was so isolated and so bored that, you know, I felt like this. When I'm home and everybody else is at work because I've got the day off, let's go ahead and play some video games and do all this fun stuff that I normally couldn't do because I'm at work. But now that everybody's home, it doesn't have that same spark. So I may have said this in other videos, but it put me in a depression where I could not enjoy the things that I normally would enjoy at this time. So, but don't fret, Link's Awakening, you probably have seen me play that, the remake or the remaster, whatever, on the Switch. That's either up already on the channel or it's on Twitch by the time this video goes up. So that's what's going on. So with all those little announcements and side stories out of the way, I was walking a friend's dog because of that. Because of all that depression, I was watching cat videos on YouTube and just went down the wormhole, and here we are. So Pokemon Go had an update. Let's start there. It's got this nice new background with Togetic and Seismic and a couple of the other Pokemon that are out right now. And with the way the walking is going, your boy is stuck at 5 kilometers. So I wanted to change that by doing some more walking today. Went to the High Point Greenway. Had to have my mask on that you just saw me with. Didn't record a lot of video, but I was out in nature with my buddy, with Fracture here. And there's a lot of Solosis out. I believe that's how you say it. A lot of Solosis is out here. Real quick, one thing I forgot to mention, and we'll get back into it. With the walking and everything, it was announced that the Safari Zone, would it being that weekend, people at home could stay home and have played. And so what a lot of people got is this shiny Teddiursa, a mint green Teddiursa. Oh, I've got to have it. It's available worldwide now. So there it is. So to make up for that, they allowed them to play from home. I guess they'll reschedule the event where you could actually go to St. Louis and do some more stuff there. So getting back to my doggy friend here, my friend was like, hey, you want to borrow my daughter? I was like, your daughter? Some people, their pets are family. Pets are their children. I got to walk this majestic animal here and go around the greenway and get my kilometers in, be at one with nature. Somewhere we saw an Xbox laying on the ground, Xbox 360. Thought about bringing that home with me, but I didn't. So here's some screenshots and footage that I'll have going on in the background with all of that. But it was a good time. A lot of psychic Pokemon out, some psychic Pokemon quests that are also out. And the Solosis is everywhere. It's making me think, is this coincidence? They're like, hey, this is the COVID. That's what that is. Solosis is going to, after 100 candies, look at its strongest peak form. So because that's everywhere, you can still get that. That's one thing I was worried about. I was like, you know what? What if new Pokemon are out, like I can't say the name of that Pokemon. The other Pokemon that's also out everywhere with Solosis that I talked about last video. If both of those are out and they're not everywhere, you're going to have trouble getting them. Now, the first day, it was brought to my attention that both of them were out at the same time, but one is supposed to be out during the daytime, Solosis, and the other is supposed to be out at nighttime, the other one, which I can't pronounce. So there's something to look forward to, but you can't really be out at night, right? So that's going to be a problem there, but I did get some candy for it. I'm not sure it evolves but one more time, whereas Solosis has 2 evolutions. I say one more time, I mean that other Pokemon has 1 evolution, Solosis has 2 evolutions, excuse me. So did a Claydol raid with a friend, and the friends whose dog I'm walking, and we had a good time. I never went around the greenway walking or anything like that. I was kind of nervous to do so, but it's a nice little trail. So if you've got, a dog and you want to walk or you want to ride your bike, this is the place, this is the time. Very relaxing vibe. Not a lot of people out there today, and that may be because of the stay-at-home order, but I imagine in the future it could be like that. Now, mind you, this is during a weekday, so on a weekend, could be a whole lot more people out there. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, I told you, hey, they had an updated screen. But part of that update also included this. They've got the today screen. It's there. So they announced that it was coming, and it came with the very next update, which was today. At least if you had iOS or Android. You got that update, or I'm sorry, if you had iOS. Android, I believe, may have had it sooner if you get one of those nightly builds or what have you. So let's go ahead and check that out real quick. I know I took a screenshot of it somewhere on video, but just to read to it, I wanted to put a little more information in there. So it shows you the 3 Pokemon you have in gyms. You could have more than that, but it shows you those 3. It also shows you your daily Pokemon catch and your daily Pokestop spin. So, as somebody's behind my car in my yard, it's kind of weird. As I look at this, it's showing you, hey, I've got 2 days out of the 7, and I got all 7 of the daily Pokemon catches. So it's got updates for April. So the news has actually gone to the upcoming part. And here's what they've got here. Let me take a screenshot of that and read it to you. Here's an update to what you can look forward to this month. Shadow Entei will remain until the end of April. Don't really care about that, but hey, it's one less thing I got to worry about doing. The April research breakthrough encounter will be a Lowen Executor with bonus Stardust. For the month of April, Pokemon Spotlight Hour and Mystery Bonus Hour will continue to occur. So, okay, there's that. We are continuing to prioritize updates to Pokemon Go features and experiences that can be enjoyed in individual settings. Events may vary in certain areas, keyword certain, until further notice. Be sure to follow us on social media, opt into receiving push notifications, and subscribe to our emails. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not sure I'm going to do that, but that's cool to know. Why is that important? Well, they're trying their hardest to make the game more inclusive since you've got to stay home. So they actually dropped a link, which I may or may not post. And it showcases ideas that they're trying to move forward. And by ideas, I think they're actually going to do it. They wouldn't share any of that if they weren't going to do it. A lot of you do raids, and that's taking a hit like I mentioned earlier. But what if I told you you could pick a couple of friends and you guys could raid remotely? Kind of like you do in the Switch game, how they adopted that raid concept for Pokemon Sword and Shield. What if you could do this in Pokemon Go? Now, some of you do this in a way that's not legal to the game, but what if Niantic was going to make that legal? Well, that's what's going to happen. They're going to allow you to pick from your friends list. The game needs to be more social. People have been saying that for a couple of years now. It looks like this is the trigger. This is the breaking point for them to say, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Because although Pokemon is not owned by Nintendo, they kind of follow some of their practices, which is, hey, you need a friend code or something like that to even friend somebody. And even then, you talking to them, that's on your own accord. You're not going to have an in-game chat or anything like that. What if I told you that they're also looking into changing that? And that's what's needed. If I could send a quick message, or there's a little keyboard and I can type out like I'm texting, hey, meet me at Greenway at 6 o'clock with people I've already friended and have my consent to friend. Mind you, 13-year-olds and under. I think you've got to be 13 and up, maybe. Whatever the age is, there's a certain age you got to be to even add friends. So you're covered on that end, mom and dad. Kids should not be able to add unless you give them that ability. And even then, the game, once that account is made, it won't allow them to add friends until the age that you've given when you created the account has been reached. That's not to say that they can't make their own account and do all this and that, but have fun buying items when you can't add a credit card, right? So that's the fail-safe in keeping the kids from accessing this stuff. So the cool thing is, hey, you and 3 people, y'all want to go ahead and raid, the chat feature will be there. You can still rely on Discord and Facebook Messenger and Telegram, whatever it is you use to do in mass raids, because not everybody's going to, there's a 200 friend cap. So those things will still be viable. But this is a nice way to, get up with people who otherwise aren't on Facebook or don't use it that much and want to be in these chats. And you just want to do something chill with people on your friends list. That was totally necessary. Totally necessary. It should have been done. They shouldn't have relegated to social media for doing it in the first place, if you ask me. But, here we are. So where are you at? Do you have the update? You need to go ahead and get that if you don't. The Today feature is supposed to simplify things. They've made things a little more complex with all the different menus that are on there now. But if you've got this Today feature and it's reminding you of certain things. What I would like is if they would add the EX raids and stuff to it, like a little reminder there saying, hey, this is what's coming up in a couple days or what have you. What features do you think they need to add? Did you get the update? What do you think so far? How are you getting through this whole pandemic situation? Hope you guys are staying busy, stay blessed, be safe, protect yourself by all means. If you choose not to play the game anymore right now, that's cool. I understand. Hope to see you again when things heat up a little bit, things get better. If you are choosing to play the game, be sure to be smart, be cautious, be mindful of your surroundings, and remember that, you know, it's not about you. It's about those around you who you could get, you know, sick or what have you. So when you're out here playing, keep washing your hands, stay in your car, or stay 6 feet away from people if you're out walking and exercising. Do all those things so that we can control this and go back to, you know, a new normal. There's not going to be a normal anymore. It's just going to be a new normal. But that's just one man's opinion. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Captain Sensation! So because the humans are forced to stay inside, the geese have taken over the softball/baseball field. Look at that. Well, that's interesting. Might have to put them in some Pokeballs at some point.